The heck was that?
Hey yo pretty people, welcome to Fullstack Season 2 1.9. My name is ZloYxp and I did a ton of stuff off camera. Now let's talk about it for 20 minutes. No, of course I'm kidding, but I really did do a ton of stuff off camera. First of all, roleplay wise, check this out. I did realize that roleplay wise, I actually needed this gust to be built before I start recording, and so I did. It took a freaking day. Yep, not an African day, a freaking day. And a freaking day is like approximately 2 days. So yeah, that's that. I kinda got really tired of this build, but I kinda did it. And right now he's covered in water. Why is he covered in water, you may ask? Well, the answer is pretty simple. As I may have already noted, gusts, and this particular one, this Elder Gust, are like in story, in roleplay, are not warm-blooded, which means that whenever it gets too cold for them, they basically hibernate. That's one of the reasons this thing crashed here to begin with. Now, I covered it in water. So once it rains or it snows, all the water on top of him will become ice, which will basically encase him in it. Well, not really encase it, but at least cover him with like an ice cap. And eventually I will farm some ice on top of him and cover him in the ice entirely. I really want this to be like a giant glacier in which this gust is encased. Simply so we will not end up like at the end of previous season. So that's the plan for this guy. This is why there's so much water around him. Now let's get to some plans and some other stuff for this season and for this place, because God, I'm so excited. Alright, first of all, here's some stolen foods I've stolen from Spawn Town. Well, it's not Spawn Town. I call it the capital. Everybody else calls it Spawn Town. But it's not located at the spawn, so in my opinion, in my humble opinion, it does not deserve that name. So, from the Spawn Town, I've stolen melons, poop, beetroots, that don't really change my saturation at all, and carrots. Now, actually, carrots have been dropped by one of my zombies, one of the zombies that tried to attack me. Then also behind the camera, I found those two. Well, there actually has been 4 of those. Those are skeletal horses. They spawn whenever it storms, with skeletons on top of them. So I basically killed their own riders and made them mine. I actually traded one with Gorkus in exchange for a saddle and a name tag. Oh, and an epic mending bow that I have somewhere in my chests. Now, the 4th one is actually saddled, and I currently have it at the spawn town, where we will come at some point, but not in this episode. This episode, it's all about this place. Yeah, and you might ask, so what about this place? What's so special about it? Well, I have a plan in mind for it, alright? I have a plan in mind. But instead of me trying to explain it to you, trying to explain my quote-unquote artistic vision, why don't we just take a look at it as it looks right now? Yeah, take it all in. And in a second, you will know exactly what I mean. And ta-da! Alright, I'll stop. So, check this out. What do you guys think? This is what I really want to do with this mountain side, but only with this side. The other side can go, I don't know, to hell, maybe not, I don't know, I don't care. So, on this side of the mountain, I want to build this kinda cascade of small houses, but since the houses will be embedded into the mountain, they don't have to be houses. They will actually be only decorative facades. Plus maybe my own house will actually base inside of a mountain, but probably not. Probably not. This is just a project. This is just a start of a bigger city, of a bigger scale project that I think will be easy to do, while not having exactly a lot of resources. You can say I literally have like 2 iron weapons, iron tools. Sorry. There aren't even weapons, well, except for the axe. Speaking of iron tools and iron in general, this particular small house that you might already seen, that I made off camera, is actually leading to somewhere. It's leading to my very own mine shaft. It's leading deep down into the mines, where I really have to go get some like proper equipment, maybe iron armor or something like that. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. And I really have to say that I like this style. First of all, it allows me to basically use the cheapest materials available. And second of all, it lets me use those new trapdoor placements. Check this out. I can do this all day, guys. Alright, I'll stop. So, okay. I'm gonna put myself together, grab my torches, grab my pickaxe, and I will go deep down into the mines. Because I do know for a fact that somewhere down there, there's an abandoned mine shaft with my name on it. Okay, pretty people, here's the catch. Ta-da! Of course, not snowballs, those I dug, and not beetroots, those I grown off camera. However, I got a ton of iron, well, not a metric buttload, but still quite a lot. Some gold, an ender pearl, which I'm really proud of, a bow that was dropped by a skeleton, and actually some arrows. I also stole a ton of rails from the place, which means that we get to kind of jumpstart our mineshaft project, because I really want some actual railways, actual storage minecarts cruising around like back and forth, imitating actual movement. But behold, my friends, this here is my diamond chest. Gaze into it. Yep. So yeah, guys, sorry about me not including the footage of me going mining. That I can actually recreate for you by jumping off this cliff like 15,000 times, because that's what I basically did. The only thing that happened deep down under the ground today is basically me dying over and over again. Well, that, and I actually I think that I figured out my favorite, well, or at least ZloYxp compatible configuration of the offhand and not offhand equipment. Check this out. Okay, first of all, I decided that I am an axeman. So yeah, you can have my sword. I won't need it anymore. I will be using axes. First of all, they can be used to basically chop down stuff. Second of all, they deal way more damage, which means that they basically allow you to kill mobs faster, which is preferable where you're a wimp and a coward, like me. Now, with this, a reasonable person would use a shield with an axe. So you can go like boom, and while it reloads, you basically block. And you like boom again. But I'm not exactly a reasonable person. Plus, the skeleton arrows get deflected only if you utilized shield at the exact moment when the arrow gets you. Here, let me try to imitate it. Boo! Boo! Boom! See? It kinda worked. Ow, no it didn't. It didn't. So yeah, you basically got the closest imitation of me fighting a skeleton. I basically get kicked. So this is why I decided that in an offhand, I will either carry torches whenever I'm like, doop 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 doop, I'm mining, doop 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 doop, so I can light up my way like nobody else, or I will carry an actual bow in my offhand, which actually looks extra dopey when in a fight, because see, if you don't have a second hand, like if you have a bow in your second hand, then no matter where you're aiming, your character will be aiming downwards, which looks absolutely ridiculous, especially once you release the arrow, like chpoo! It went literally the other way, like literally the opposite way. Now the strategy is to basically punch a skeleton. Ow! How did I manage to get hit? Okay, the strategy is to basically imagine that pig is a skeleton. To punch a skeleton, and while I reload, I basically attack it with my bow, like this, boom, and then it dies, and I eat its bones and flesh and everything. So yeah, that's the plan, and that's how I prefer to deal with mobs, except that I actually prefer to just run away. But however, it's still kind of strategy. It's better than no strategy, that's for sure, and it's way better than just being killed over and over again. However, I really don't want to admit how long did it take for me to actually come up with something like this. And hey, the furnaces actually make sound now. Come on, do it again. Do it again. Oh, so cozy. Alright. So yeah, guys. That's gonna be it for today's first episode of mine. First episode of this third season. It came out rather quickly, if you ask me. Like the very next day after the first one. After the previous episode of Fullstack, I suddenly released a first episode of the new series. That's not like me. And I really spent a lot of time digging away, grinding for that freaking gust, because as we all know, it needs to be placed before I can start recording. Plus I cannot build it in creative because there's no creative on this server. Plus I don't want to cheat. Plus yeah, yada yada, you know the drill. Plus it actually took me a lot of time to come up with this concept and to actually implement it, let's say so. So I hope you don't mind that the episode might be a bit dopey and a bit short. I really put a lot of effort into it, and yeah, that's gonna be it for today's. So thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you liked it, leave a comment. I always like to talk to you guys, and definitely leave a like if you enjoyed the episode. Punch that subscribe button if you are new here. Thanks for watching. See you next time.